Hey, and I'm back for part 2 of getting to Jeonju. So we left off, I finally made it to Jeonju, and then Alistair, he took me to a bank and gave me some money, lots of money. And then we went to where we're gonna work. We're working at Jeonju Academy, and we get there and we're parked behind the building, so we don't really know where we're at. We're like in some weird alley, and we're like, dude, what is this? And so we call whoever his contact is, and we finally figure out where we are, and we get around the building, and there's like this basketball court and some like little hurdles. And they look like hurdles. And later on I saw kids kicking soccer balls over them back and forth. So they practice soccer over the hurdles. There's also a bouldering wall in the building next to the school. There's like a little building it's part of Jeonju Academy. It's like a little, like what's the word? It's like a shack, not a shack. I don't even care. I'll figure it out later. It's like a side building that's connected to the school, but it's its own little building, and there's a bouldering wall in there, and it's like cool. And so we get in, there's like 4 floors. We go up all the way to the 4th floor, and there's nobody there. We're like, whatever. And then this random man shows up, and he leads us down to the 3rd floor where all the people are. We talk to the lady. We get left on the couch for a while, but we all get like, there's like a little coffee dispenser, and they get coffee. And I'm really jittery because I just got off the plane an hour ago, and in Beijing, I got in my hotel room at around 8 something, and I couldn't sleep very well on the plane. I just kept waking up, and then the Avengers came on, so I watched the Avengers, and then after that Mirror came on, so I was like watching that. And then when I get to Beijing, I had to wake up at 6:45 so I could have breakfast, make sure everything's still like backpacked, and then I had to leave at 7:30 because it's a 30-minute drive to the airport, and my plane leaves at 10:55. So I needed to be there by 8 or earlier, so I wanted to leave at 7:30. So I was supposed to get a wake-up call, but I was really scared I was going to sleep through it, so I kept waking up all night, like, oh my god, did I miss it? Okay. Oh my god, did I miss it? Okay. Okay. And that was my night. And then I get on the plane to Busan, and it was a really nice flight, but I was really scared I'm not going to like Korean food, because my little bit of experience with Korean food, I hate it. I like some of it, but for the most part I don't. And we get our food on the plane. It was really nice and everything. We had like metal silverware on a plane. There was this little cup of water, purified water, and there's some fruit and this little cucumber salad and a bread bun. And then I open up the food, and it's just cabbage right over the top. I'm like, ugh, I hate cabbage. So I peel off the cabbage, and there's this thing of rice, and there's a thing of like meat and gravy and like a couple carrots and some broccoli. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to eat the meat because I don't know if it's pork or not. And I know Asian culture, even American culture, is really heavy in pork. So I was like, I'm not going to eat the meat because I don't know what it is. So I tried some of the broccoli because I like broccoli. Oh my god, this thing was gross. So maybe it's just because it's plain food, but this is gross. So I ate some of the rice and then ate all the side stuff. And so it was, But it was really, when I'm traveling, I don't really get hungry, and I get really tired, but I can't sleep. It's just like this, I'm in travel mode, you can't sleep, and you can't go to the bathroom, and you can't eat too much because my tummy gets all twisted up. I don't know. I guess it makes it easier on me because I don't have to worry about it so much. You know, I don't have to worry about being full, I don't have to worry about being hungry or going to the bathroom or something, but like, then in the afterburn, like what happens afterwards, just like pass out. And I couldn't pass out afterwards. I get to Jeonju, and we're immediately shown around our school. Oh my goodness, this school is amazing. I'm like looking around, me and Shannon and Lauren, none of us have any experience. I have that 5 weeks experience in China, but it was just interning, and I basically just pulled it out of my butt. I had no idea what I was doing. And I never did TEFL either, TEFL or TESOL. TEFL or TESOL? They're like these 2 like certificates you get these classes that teach you about basic teaching English as a foreign language. But anyway, and they have a TEFL, and I don't. I just have a linguistics BA, and also Latin BA. And so we're shown around the school, and they have a simulation room Well, you walk in the room. It's called like a virtual system. There's like a computer and some chairs. It's kind of like being in an internet cafe. And you turn to the left, and there's a security gate, like what you see in an airport. And there's like a little conveyor belt, you know, that you put your luggage on. And there's like a luggage halfway through. And you walk through the little security gate, you know, the little metal detector. And you go around, and there's like this little place with chairs, and then there's an immigration center, so they check your passport, and then you're in a hotel, and there's a concierge desk, and there's 3 clocks, and there's one for Jeonju, London, and New York, and they're real working clocks. And then behind you there's this wall that shows like the restaurant in the hotel, and there's a little table. They took the chairs out, but there's a little table. And then right next to that, in the corner, there's a health clinic, like a hospital room where you can play doctor. And you go past, there's a bank, and then across from the bank is a pharmacy. And you keep going, and then there's a clothing store and a supermarket-like area, so you can pick clothes and shoes and food. Oh, it was so cool, and the walls were all decorated, so it looked so like there's like a shopping center background painted on the wall, or like wallpapered onto the wall. And it was so cool, and we're like, what? And some of the food actually is real, you know, like peanut butter and canned goods. Well, and there's some real food there. And there's like prices, and this is on sale, and it was so cool. And then we go, and outside the simulation room, there's 5 classrooms, and then there's a room in the middle, and that's for the teachers, and that's our room. And she takes us into the classrooms, and there's some really cool looking like rhombus-shaped tables for their desks, and there's whiteboards, and then there's a little podium that the teachers use. And then the teachers' room, there's only 1 desk, but they're going to take it out and replace it with 5 desks for each of us, and there's 5 brand new computers. Like, you know that sticky film they put on the towers that you have to peel off before you can hit all the buttons? Yeah, the sticky film is still on the towers. And we're like, oh, what? And we get like our textbooks. They give us textbooks and stuff, and we discuss lesson plans with this woman named Margaret. Her name is Ji-Hwan Pak. And her English, or her church name, she said it, that's what she called it, was her church name. And it's Margaret. And so we get to call her Margaret, or Ji-Hwan. Anyway, and she's so nice, and she was showing us around. And then right off the bat, we had to do an opening ceremony the next day, and we get introduced. We had to stand up and bow today. And then in front of this auditorium of all the kids. And then, what was I going to say? I totally lost track. Yeah, and then they like kind of opened up the school, like school's gonna start this day, and then these are your teachers, and then they had evaluation tests. And because Ryan and Kylie aren't here yet, they borrowed 2 foreign language teachers from the other public schools. Like one guy, he's from UK, and he's an older, really tall guy. And he works in an all-girls school. And the other guy, he's been in Korea for 8 years, 7 or 8 years, and he's been in Jeonju for 3, and he works in an elementary school. And they borrowed them to come over and help us with the evaluations. And basically, we each got a room in the simulation room, and the kids came in, and we had a list of questions we had to ask them and then evaluate 1 through 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, how good their English was. And we just, you know, and there was a little side for comments, but they kept sending us in kids so fast, nobody really remembered to do too many comments. I got ink all over my hands. But it was so much fun. These kids were adorable, and there were so many elementary students. And like the last middle school student I had really poor English. The only thing he really knew how to say, like I asked him, like, what do you do in your free time or something? He's like, computer games. I was like, okay, what computer games? He's like, MapleStory. I was like, MapleStory? Really? I know what that is. I don't play it, but I have friends that do, so that's pretty cool. I was like, okay, well, what'd you do this weekend? Play computer games? Is that the only thing you're gonna say? That's pretty much his only answer. Everything else I asked him about, he was kind of like, what? And I was like, oh. And then the very first elementary student I had was so smart. He was just like rattling off rattling off answers. We almost had a conversation, but I had, you know, asked the questions. But like, it was really nice. He was a cute little kid. And there were these cute little girls that didn't know English very well, and they're like, oh. And it was like so cute. And I was like, no, it's okay. We'll just do a different question. And it was so adorable. And that was Saturday. And then we did this before the evaluations. They had the opening ceremony. Like I was saying, we had to stand up and bow. And I think it was after they introduced us. They did a few other like talks. No, they didn't. After they introduced the teachers, they did a show, and these 5 girls came up and did like K-pop dancing, and then they were like, and they're like, it was so cool. And I realized, like, you know, I should take a video of this. So I got them for their last dance on my digital camera, and it's a really crappy one, but hey, I have it, right? And I'm gonna post it up online. And then right after them, these guys came out, and I had turned off the camera, but before I put it away, they came out. And they came up, and they were like breakdancing and pop locking, and I got their entire performance. It was amazing. And me and Lauren and Shannon were just like, what? It was so cool. But as to, okay, so that was it. I guess I should talk about my room, my apartment, and what's going on with internet, and yes, so I will do that in the next video. So now you guys are in Jeonju and all caught up. That's what I did today. I'm home. We had lunch and then came home, and we're resting for like an hour and a half, and then we're gonna go to a cafe. So I'll be back with another video about stuff in Jeonju. Yes, and stuff with me, I guess. I think it's already like that.